Friends, let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to invite the chime to sing, and then we'll have a little meditation, and I'll give you a kind of an update of what we're doing on Wednesdays here as part of our practice today. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in the Spokane Sangha. For the month of May, we are exploring the theme of mother, the theme of the sacred feminine, the qualities that we have been conditioned to associate with females, and the reality that those qualities live in every single human being, regardless of gender. Gender being a spectrum of expression. And so today, I want to invite you to keep that theme sort of light and elevated in the mind as we focus more distinctly on the practice for today, which is to continue the conversation of engagement as presented by Roshi Joan Halifax in her book Standing at the Edge, which is the book that we're reading and sharing, Standing at the Edge. And in the section that I'm going to read for us today, I'm going to kind of pick and choose a little bit. It's the word busyness that Roshi is bringing forward. And I want you to think about your mother, maybe, or maybe another mother that you know, and the way they have kept busy. And then think about yourself, even if you yourself are not a mother, but think about how that influence of busyness has landed for you and what that even means to you. Busyness. I remember one of the first times I heard a teaching on the perspective of busyness was at Sravasti Abbey in Newport, Washington by Venerable Chudran. And one of the things she said blew my mind, frankly. I have never been able to look at busyness the same way again. She talked about busyness as being a form of and an expression of laziness, which I thought was really mind-blowing. And her explanation of it is so often we're busy, we're doing things, we're filling up our days, distracted, doing, going, but we're not there, we're not present, we're not mindful. We're checking off the to-do list for sure. We're achieving things, yes. But where are we in the process? Are we happy? Are we agitated? Are we just mindlessly going through the list without really being there? So busyness as a form of distraction is one manifestation. This is what Roshi Joan has to say about it. She says, busyness, from one point of view, is a form of seeking behavior that is abetted by the neurochemical dopamine. Dopamine drives us to be motivated, to want, and to pursue. It amplifies our arousal levels and makes us more curious. We could call it the juice that fuels our brain's search engine. It can also improve our thought processes and bring energy into our emotional lives. Neuroscience shows that even more than achieving goals, the act of seeking can enhance human satisfaction through the production of this neurochemical. This is an important thing to remember, friends, that a dopamine response is part of being human. On the journey of recovery, we tax those dopamine responses because we overexcite, we inflate the dopamine response with the addition of substances or other engaged habit energy of pleasure seeking. And when the body is healing and returning to a normal dopamine response, we can go through a period of depression, a period of great fatigue, malaise, blah. And it's at this point that people can get really agitated. It can be really uncomfortable to be in that place. And so once again, we get tempted to seek pleasure, to seek a dopamine hit. And this is a tender space for people on the journey of recovery. It's where cravings can come up. And so if we can simply remember to practice, to breathe, to slow down, to know that neurochemistry and what's happening in our brains is beyond our control. But what we can control is our posture, our breath, the level of rest we're getting, the good food that we're eating, taking a walk in a beautiful environment, engaging with inspiring, wise friends. These are all pleasurable, supportive activities when we're feeling challenged by shifting dopamine chemistry in the brain. Roshi writes, I say to my students, take yourself to the powerful edge of meaningful work and give your best. Use your days well to truly benefit others and bring joy to yourself. In my view, there is little more rewarding in life than healthy and dedicated work for the love of others and the world. Whether you're a clinician, a teacher, a CEO, a human rights worker, a bricklayer, artist, mother, Zen practitioner sitting on a cushion, or I will add, a person in recovery. I say, Roshi writes, go for it, wholeheartedly. Be nothing less than wholehearted. And let the beauty we love be what we do. Let the beauty we love be what we do. Sometimes it's challenging to maintain the perspective that abstaining from negative habit energy is of service to anyone other than ourselves. That is true, actually. It is a self-serving endeavor to recover our true selves from habit energy. But it isn't the whole truth, because the truth is any healing we offer ourselves, any time we engage in a behavior that produces less harm in our minds, bodies, and spirits, by extension, we put less harm into the world. Healing yourself brings healing to others. Make no mistake. We are invited to stay engaged, to be active, maybe even busy. Busy doing things for ourselves that support doing less harm. If staying busy, weeding the garden, does less harm to your mind and body, then that is a beautiful thing to do. If staying busy, being of service to others is your way of keeping yourself motivated on this journey, then that's what's working for you, and that's great. Maybe for you, you're in a season where being busy doing art, drawing, doodling, that's what's allowing you to no longer harm yourself with negative habit energy. If that's true, then that's amazing. Go for it. Add beauty to the world that way. There's so many ways to be motivated, busy, active, that are really, really positive approaches. This is an invitation to practice discerning, when am I staying engaged as a distraction? When am I staying engaged as an act of motivation and service? When am I engaged and the two things come together? Can be both. You decide, and you know. friends. Engaging with our capacity to be busy gives us such a wonderful opportunity to examine mindfully and with intentionality our actions. What are we doing? If we're distracting ourselves, but we have awareness with it, that is a beautiful thing. Sometimes we need to be distracted. Sometimes there are things in our lives that we're just not ready to meet head on. We might need to pause. We might need to wait. We might need to create space around the thing that we need to examine and explore. And so in the meantime, we busy and distract ourselves with something else, something healthy, something creative, something of service. What a wonderful way to mindfully channel engagement. Likewise, we have the capacity to engage busyness quite unskillfully at times. We're mindlessly doing stuff. We're not paying attention. We're increasing in agitation and irritation. We're barking at people. When we finally come into the awareness of that, can we offer ourselves forgiveness and grace? Maybe you're new to meditation and it is all you can do to stay seated listening. Maybe you're working very hard, feverishly, not to get up and move around and be distracted. You're determined. That is a great expression of this practice. Working with engagement, working with distraction and busyness. All of this under the giant umbrella of Mother and the Sacred Feminine is the quality of patience. Stay open to your practice. Stay patient. Be curious, and above all things, be gentle and kind. With that, friends, let's go ahead and end our practice today with the dedication of merit. Bringing yourself back to this space, bringing yourself back to your practice. The fact that you came here today, you showed up, you continue to gain information and perspective. You continue to commit to your healing and transformation. These are extraordinary acts of presence and courage, mindful acts of service, impeccable acts of generosity toward ourselves and by extension toward all living beings. May we end our practice with the spirit of metta, loving kindness. May all beings everywhere be safe and well. May all beings everywhere be free of the ravages of war, oppression, injustice. May all beings everywhere know peace and clarity. May all beings everywhere have a strong sense of belonging and love. Friends, thank you so much for your practice. We'll see you next time. Namaste.